Few names evoke as much intrigue and controversy as the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. Founded in 1948 in Fontana, California, the Hells Angels rapidly gained notoriety. They became synonymous with outlaw motorcycle culture. Their influence has extended far beyond the realm of motorcycle enthusiasts. The Hells Angels have permeated popular culture. They are a source of endless fascination and debate. This essay delves into the real history of the Hells Angels. It examines their origins, evolution, and cultural impact. We aim to separate fact from fiction. The Hells Angels emerged in the aftermath of World War II. This was a period of significant social and cultural change in the United States. Returning veterans, accustomed to camaraderie and adrenaline, often struggled to reintegrate into civilian life. Many found solace and brotherhood in motorcycle clubs. These clubs offered a sense of belonging and purpose in a rapidly changing world. The Hells Angels name itself is believed to have been inspired by the Hells Angels bomber groups of World War II. This further underscores the club's connection to the wartime experiences of its founding members. The post-war economic boom also made motorcycles increasingly accessible. This led to a surge in motorcycle ownership and the proliferation of motorcycle clubs across the United States. The Hells Angels' history is punctuated by a series of events that cemented their notoriety. From their early days as a motorcycle club in the 1940s to their rise as a symbol of rebellion and counterculture, the Hells Angels have always been surrounded by a mix of admiration and controversy. One such event was the 1969 Altamont Free Concert. This concert was meant to be a West Coast version of Woodstock, a free concert that would encapsulate the spirit of the 1960s. This event, headlined by the Rolling Stones, was intended to be a celebration of peace and music. Thousands of fans gathered with high hopes for a memorable day, filled with iconic performances. However, it descended into chaos and violence. The atmosphere quickly turned tense and the dream of a peaceful concert was shattered. The Hells Angels had been hired as security for the event. Their presence was intended to maintain order, but it had the opposite effect. A confrontation between the Hells Angels and concertgoers resulted in the death of Meredith Hunter. This tragic incident marked a dark chapter in the history of rock and roll. Another significant event in Hells Angels history was the Lenny incident of 1970. This event further solidified their reputation as an organization that operated on the fringes of the law. Oakland chapter president Ralph "Sonny" Barger was arrested for possession of heroin and marijuana. His arrest was a major blow to the club's leadership. This arrest led to a highly publicized trial. The media coverage was intense, and the trial became a spectacle that drew national attention. Barger was ultimately acquitted of the drug charges. His acquittal was seen as a victory for the Hells Angels, but it did little to change public perception. However, the trial further fueled public perceptions of the Hells Angels as an outlaw organization involved in criminal activity. Despite their efforts to present themselves as a brotherhood of motorcycle enthusiasts, their image remained tainted by these high-profile incidents. Over the decades, the Hells Angels have undergone a significant transformation. From their early days as a relatively loosely organized group of motorcycle enthusiasts, they evolved into a more structured and hierarchical organization. The club expanded its reach across the United States and internationally. It established chapters in numerous countries. This expansion was not without its challenges. Internal conflicts and rivalries with other motorcycle clubs, most notably the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, led to violent confrontations and legal battles. The Hells Angels also faced increasing scrutiny from law enforcement agencies. They were suspected of involvement in a range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and murder. Section 5. Dispelling the Myths. Separating fact from fiction. The Hells Angels have been the subject of numerous myths and misconceptions. Over the decades, the media and popular culture have painted a picture of the club that is often far from reality. These myths have contributed to a public perception that is both sensationalized and, at times, misleading. One of the most persistent myths is that all members are involved in criminal activity. This stereotype has been fueled by high-profile cases and sensational news stories that focus on the illegal actions of a few individuals. While it is true that some members have been convicted of crimes, it is important to note that not all Hells Angels are criminals. Many members are law-abiding citizens who are passionate about motorcycles and the camaraderie that comes with being part of the club. The club has always maintained that it is a brotherhood of motorcycle enthusiasts, and that any criminal activity is the work of individuals, not the club as a whole. In fact, Hells Angels chapters around the world often engage in charitable activities, community service, and events that promote a positive image. Another common myth is that the Hells Angels are a highly organized and centralized criminal enterprise. This misconception is partly due to the club's hierarchical structure and the media's portrayal of it as a tightly controlled organization. While the club does have a hierarchical structure and a set of rules that members are expected to follow, it is not a monolithic organization. Each chapter operates independently, with its own leadership and decision-making processes. Individual chapters operate with a degree of autonomy, and there is no single leader or governing body that controls all aspects of the club's activities. This decentralized nature means that the actions of one chapter do not necessarily reflect the behavior or policies of another. Understanding these nuances is crucial in separating fact from fiction when it comes to the Hells Angels. Section 6. The Hells Angels in popular culture. The Hells Angels' notoriety and mystique have made them enduring figures in popular culture. Their image has been used and exploited in countless books, films, television shows, and songs. Hunter S. Thompson's 1966 book Hells Angels: The Strange and Terrible Saga of the Outlaw Motorcycle Gangs is perhaps the most famous example. Thompson spent a year living and writing with the Hells Angels, providing an insider's perspective on their lives and culture. The Hells Angels have also been portrayed in a number of Hollywood films, often as violent and lawless antagonists. While some depictions have been more accurate than others, they have generally reinforced the public's perception of the Hells Angels as a dangerous and criminal organization. Section 7. The Hells Angels today, a complex legacy. The Hells Angels continue to exist today, albeit with a lower profile than in their heyday. Law enforcement agencies around the world still consider them to be a criminal organization. They continue to monitor their activities closely. The Hells Angels, however, maintain that they are simply a group of motorcycle enthusiasts who enjoy riding together and socializing. The Hells Angels face a number of challenges in the 21st century. Aging membership, increased scrutiny from law enforcement, and a changing social landscape have all contributed to a decline in the club's numbers and influence. However, the Hells Angels remain a powerful symbol of rebellion and counterculture. Their enduring legacy continues to fascinate and intrigue. Section 8. Conclusion. The enduring enigma of the Hells Angels. The Hells Angels are a complex and often contradictory organization. They have been the subject of countless books, documentaries, and news reports, each attempting to unravel the mystery behind their enduring presence. From their inception in the late 1940s, the Hells Angels have captured the public's imagination, becoming a symbol of rebellion and freedom. They are both reviled and romanticized, feared and admired. The media often portrays them as outlaws and criminals, yet there are those who see them as modern-day knights, living by a code of honor and loyalty. This duality is what makes the Hells Angels such a fascinating subject. Their history is a tapestry woven from threads of rebellion, brotherhood, violence, and tragedy. Each chapter of their story adds another layer to their enigmatic persona. From their early days as a group of World War II veterans seeking camaraderie, to their involvement in high-profile criminal activities, the Hells Angels have always been a group that defies easy categorization. While their outlaw image is undeniable, it is essential to recognize that the Hells Angels are not a monolithic entity. They are a diverse group of individuals, each with their own unique stories and motivations. Some are drawn to the club for the sense of brotherhood and adventure, while others are attracted by the allure of living outside the law. They are a collection of individuals with their own stories, motivations, and beliefs. This diversity is both their strength and their weakness, as it makes them a resilient and adaptable organization, but also one that is often misunderstood and misrepresented. Despite decades of scrutiny, legal battles, and attempts at suppression, the Hells Angels endure. Their ability to adapt and survive in the face of adversity is a testament to their resilience. They have faced numerous challenges, from law enforcement crackdowns to internal conflicts, yet they continue to thrive. They remain a potent symbol of counterculture and a reminder that the allure of freedom and rebellion remains strong. In a world that is increasingly regulated and controlled, The Hells Angels represent a desire to break free from societal constraints and live life on one's own terms. As long as there are those who seek to live life on their own terms, outside the confines of societal norms, the legend of the Hells Angels will likely persist. Their story is far from over, and as they continue to ride down the open road, they will undoubtedly continue to captivate and intrigue us. Their roar will continue to echo down the open road, a symbol of defiance and freedom that refuses to be silenced.